Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to our last segment of Would You Rather.
I liked this series.
I did too. It was so much fun. Like, really got you thinking and really got me more into the word of like looking at things. So
also really got us down the rabbit holes on some things.
Yeah.
Which is always fun though. I enjoy going down the rabbit hole.
A lot of thinking. So yes, so we're going to bring you our last Would You Rather, and then we will give you a sneak peek about what's in store for Advent.
Yes.
So on that note, so for this one, we decided to kick it old school, right? And go back to two very well-known, I don't want to say
Sunday school.
I don't want to say beloved Sunday school lessons, but they are just because they are, Sunday school lesson, but they're a lesson in great faith.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
with that being said, go for it, James.
All right, so I have from Daniel chapter 6, starting at verse 6. So the administrators and the satraps went as a group to the king and said, "O King Darius, live forever. The royal administrators, prefects, satraps, advisors, and governors have all agreed that the king should issue an edict and enforce the decree that anyone who prays to any other god or man during the next 30 days, except to you, O king, shall be thrown into the lion's den." Now when Daniel learned that the decree had been published, he went home to his upstairs room where the windows opened towards Jerusalem. 3 times a day he got down on his knees and prayed, giving thanks to his God, just as he had done before. And then down to verse 16. So the king gave an order, and they brought Daniel and threw him into the lion's den. The king said to Daniel, "May your God, whom you serve continually, rescue you." A stone was brought and placed over the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his own signet ring and the rings of his nobles, so that Daniel's situation might not be changed. Then the king returned to his palace and spent the night without eating and without entertainment being brought to him, and he could not sleep. At the first light of dawn, the king got up and hurried to the lion's den. When he came in near the den, he called to Daniel in an anguished voice, "Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God, whom you serve continually, been able to rescue you from the lions?" Daniel answered, "O king, live forever. My God has sent his angel, and he has shut the mouth of the lions. They have not hurt me because I was found innocent in his sight, nor have I ever done anything wrong before you, O king."
All right. I have Daniel chapter 3 selected verses because this is also a very long account. They said to King Nebuchadnezzar, "O king, live forever. You have issued a decree, O king, that everyone who hears the sound of the horn, flute, zither, lyre, harp, pipes, and all kinds of music must fall down and worship the image of gold, and that whoever does not fall down and worship will be thrown into a blazing furnace." Furious with rage, Nebuchadnezzar summoned Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So these men were brought before the king, and Nebuchadnezzar said to them, "Is it true, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that you do not serve my gods or worship the image of gold I have set up? Now when you hear the sound of the horn, the flute, the zither, the lyre, the harp, pipes, and all kinds of music, if you are ready to fall down and worship the image I made, very good. But if you do not worship it, you will be thrown immediately into a blazing furnace. Then what God will be able to rescue you from my hand?" Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego said, "If we are thrown into the blazing furnace, the God we serve is able to save us from it, and he will rescue us from your hand, O king." Nebuchadnezzar was furious with them, and his attitude toward them changed. He ordered the furnace heated 7 times hotter than usual, and commanded some of the strongest soldiers in his army to tie them up and throw them into the blazing furnace. All right. So clearly the end of that story is that they survive, but it literally goes on for at least 20 more verses. So even
Daniel chapter 3, if you want to read through all.
The guards even moving them into the furnace were immediately dead from the heat that was even near the furnace, not even in the furnace, just near the furnace. And then they had said, didn't 3 men go in, but there are 4 there. So clearly the angel of the Lord was with them and spared them. So.
All right, so.
All right.
Would you rather?
Would you rather be Daniel in the lion's den or
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the fiery furnace?
This episode is also known as Terrible Ways to Die.
Yeah. And I'm going to go with neither. Okay.
All right, well, that was good. Make sure you guys comment below and tell us.
Join us next time. Okay, so I question for you. As you were reading yours,
Mhm.
I was kind of thinking of this, not the would you rather part, but they clearly passed on stories like generation to generation.
Mhm.
People are around, things happen. Why did any king think that he could outsmart someone who followed God?
Mhm. Right? Because
What?
there's a lot of decrees that have been issued here. A
I
decree to throw them in the furnace,
Yeah.
a decree to throw them in.
Just
Different kings, different decrees, still challenging God.
well, and very bad ways to die.
Right.
I mean, it's
yeah, we're
not
not
like
talking about slow death.
you're
or
gonna
like-
go out in the desert for 40 years. I mean, it's
Yeah.
talking death because you didn't worship me.
Yeah,
Yet they didn't learn that they worship God and that He was gonna rescue them.
right. Okay, so if I had to pick, I might go with the fiery furnace, and
Oh,
here's why.
okay.
I do not want to die by fire,
I don't either.
not at all.
Okay.
But so the furnace was heated to 7 times its normal temperature,
Yeah.
and that the guards were dying as they were trying to like take them
Right,
to
yeah.
it.
Uh-huh.
So I feel like if I'm witnessing the guards dying and I'm like, ooh, still haven't even broken a sweat. Like I might be like more
Okay, but you didn't know that
like,
until you were at the furnace.
I know, but as you're getting closer, like I mean neither of these is going to like settle my anxiety beforehand. You know, but if like as I'm getting there, I can see other people dying. Oh gosh, that sounds terrible. I can see them dying and being like, well, I'm okay. God's got me, obviously.
Okay.
I don't know. These are
Well, there's 2 ways that I don't want to die for sure, and that's drowning or fire. So I'm definitely not picking fire because even
is
knowing
lions on your
okay,
list?
but
Like,
even
do you have like a family connection?
I do.
to them?
even knowing that I could possibly like suffer through that, I don't want to. So I am hoping.
But like
I'm
death by a wild animal
Okay.
is totally acceptable.
But this is what I'm gonna go for. I have 2 options in the lion's den. Okay, one, I know they're hungry lions because that's what it said. It was a den of hungry lions, right?
Mhm.
I am going to hope that I can be the opposite of hungry and be like, oh, it's okay, kitty. Okay?
Just charm them.
Charm them. Also, hang on to like a rock wall or something. I don't know. It's a den, so clearly I'm going in, not down. But or 2, if they are that hungry, I'm going to make sure they go for the jugular. So that I
It's like
don't-
instantaneous. So,
Just
folks,
take me.
tell us, how would you rather die? No, but which one would you rather experience? Would you rather experience God shutting the mouths of the lions?
Mm-hmm.
Or would you rather experience God being there with you as an angel of the Lord
Mm-hmm.
in the fiery furnace?
Okay, but
Also, I'm going to go with fiery furnace because then at least I get to go with my friends.
hey guys, we're all gonna go to heaven together. But that's another thing. Like, if you think about it, like, I know that they were humble people and that they trusted in God and that their faith was way stronger than mine will probably ever be because
Yeah.
that's why the Bible was written. But at the same time, like, can you imagine just like walking out of a fiery furnace, like, yeah, in your face, or like the den of lions, like, maybe now you'll follow God. I mean that we can't because we should not boast. But I would.
We can boast in the Lord.
Definitely bragging on God in that instance. Like, have you learned your lesson yet? But hello.
Yeah.
All right. Well, on that note, next week we will not be seeing you because as much as we love spending time with you, next week is Thanksgiving, and we pray that you have a blessed Thanksgiving with your family.
Absolutely.
You should be with them that day, not watching us, even though
You can go back through our playlist if you really, really miss us.
Go back to a beginning playlist, like Jesus and the
no.
Jays. Jesus and
No.
the Jays. Some of those were very fun too.
They were fun, but we've learned a lot.
We have learned a lot. So, and then we invite you back after the week of Thanksgiving for our Advent series. And yes, believe it or not, we have prepped and already know what we're
We
bringing you.
do. We're going old school with some classics.
Yeah, one of Jamie's favorites. So we hope that you'll join us for that then too. So thanks for being our friend and follower on this version of Would You Rather, and we will see you around.
Happy Thanksgiving.